Okay, hello, 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 family. This is your girls, Erlina. What I normally do. Good morning, Bangkok, Thailand. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, USA. Today we have with us the special Isaiah Ashley from the Isaiah Ashley Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Isaiah, tell the people who you are and where you come from.
So, Isaiah Ashley from North Carolina. Born in New York, but not raised there. But I'm a North Carolina boy from most of my life. At 25, it was 2022, I moved to Thailand on a one-way ticket. Had never visited, but years ago, prior to that, I had written down in my journal that I wanted to move to Thailand. And if you ask me why at the time, I can't tell you. It was just written down in my journal, and then I kind of forgot about it. Obviously, COVID happened, all that stuff, and then borders got lifted. I said, okay, I'm gonna make this move. And I had no idea that would, 4 years after that would lead to where we are now, and millions of views later, and thousands of people moving, making the same move. It's been crazy. But yeah, so Isaiah Ashley Show. The content is mainly now shifted to telling other people's stories. When at first it was mine, and I intermingle some of my own, solo videos now in between, but majority is sharing other people's stories of their journey moving over here and what it's been like for them, and condo tours and such. But it's been amazing. It's a lot though. It's been amazing. Yeah.
Wow, wow. So when you were about, how old are you now? Do you mind?
Just turned 29 this month. Yeah,
Get
month
out!
Still, yes, it's May. So Cinco de Mayo, I turned 29. So yeah, time has been
So
flying
happy
by.
belated birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, every time Cinco de Mayo come, I be thinking about Isaiah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me, okay, so you're 29. Oh my God. So when you were 20, what did you imagine yourself doing?
When I was
What did
20.
you know how we sit back and say,
Right.
oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Who?
Yeah, so what I can say is that so I've been self-employed since I was around 21 to up to now. But even going younger than that, I've always wanted to be self-employed. I've always wanted to do my own thing no matter what. I could have never told you when I was a kid a job I want to do, a career didn't exist. I'm just like, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to do my own thing. I like to gear my life around freedom. So whatever it takes, even if that means sometimes struggling on my own or whatever, I'm gonna build around freedom. So being a YouTuber wasn't necessarily in the plans, but kind of fell into it, and here we are today. But yeah, it was just always about living my own life, living life on my terms was the biggest thing. So at 20, I can say that I did imagine my life to be where it is now, or at least some form of that.
Get out. Wow. This is mind-boggling. And so what started you on your YouTube ventures?
So YouTube really goes back to I attempted content like when I was like way younger, but what really took me off in YouTube first was that I used to have a pressure washing business prior to this channel, which that channel is still up. It's called was called Zay Wonder Journal, and I was just literally teaching on that channel, showing people how to start their business, showing my journey, running it, growing it, and then over time that just did pretty decent for its niche, and then I met some successful YouTuber friends in the space. Mm-hmm. Watching their life and their transition really motivated me. I've seen the way it changed their life. I was all right, let me take this YouTube thing more seriously. So when I moved to Thailand, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start a channel, but I had no intentions, actually, it's crazy, I had no intentions of growing a channel. What I was doing at the time was I was like, all right, I'm 25, 25-year-old single black American moving to Southeast Asia. I was like, I'm just gonna document this. Even if no one watches, maybe one day if I have kids or whatever, I can show them, they can actually see footage of me in my 20s moving to Asia. And I wanna say pretty quickly though, some of my early videos caught a little bit of wind and started to do well, and I was answering questions too that I had about life over here, because I moved over here sight unseen, and it's not really much I knew. I'm even wondering, okay, is there good barbers out here? Just simple stuff, Is it safe? So in my early videos, I was like, is Thailand safe? My experience here as as a black man, something like that. This is the title. It's still one of my early videos. If you scroll to my bottom of my channel, you'll find that. And I'm just telling people like, I just pulled my camera out. I'm sitting on like the curb or something like that. I'm just outside. I just got some street food, and I'm just sharing that like, Thailand feels safe. I don't feel uncomfortable. I was like, I've been here for like a month, no bad experience, and like little things like that. And I just like quickly realized like I like Thailand, and I could see myself staying here. And that video, like, it caught some traction, and then, like, you know, I was recording the Airbnbs I was staying in just to show, like, the price, and, like, my reactions are 100% genuine. I had never seen stuff like that, like, you know, like, I'm not used to living in condos, like, living in an apartment, you know, but having all these amenities, and, like, you know, like, high-rises like this, yeah, that's not where I come from. So, I'm literally, like, I'm looking around, like, my mind is blown. Then the price that also like just sent me, like, even before moving here, I'm scrolling through Airbnb and I'm seeing what's available. I'm like, dang, I could live in here and here. I'm like, this is how much for the whole month? $500? And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a go. And like I said, I would have never imagined that it would
get to this.
evolve in such a way. And I gotta give it to a lady named Lakendra. I never told her this, but she told me when my channel was a lot smaller. She was like, one day you're gonna have like, you know, 100,000 subscribers. And honestly, I didn't believe her. I was just like, in my mind, being like, and it's not that I didn't have a confidence in myself. I just didn't see this niche being that big. I didn't know that many people had an interest in Thailand. So my mind was literally like, I was here. It's like, here we are now. And it's like it happened, but like I didn't see it, I didn't believe it. So sometimes, you know, like it other people will see things, you know, before you do. And yeah, shout out to her for visioning that, because like I was just like,
yes,
I'm getting decent views and stuff, but like I don't see it being big. But yeah, it's blown my mind how many people have had an interest in this Thailand life, and how many people this content has directly inspired. And then it's like a trickle effect, because say somebody's in content inspired me, and then my content inspires somebody else, and then they start a channel, and then like it's literally like a trickle effect.
And it keeps trickling, because here you are, and I mean, I was sitting with a couple of other women my age, in the 60-ish, and we were sitting back saying like, oh my goodness, this young man, I mean, you are half our age, and you're actually in doing his videos and his content, and then truly allowing yourself to be available to us. It's almost like reaching down in the crab bucket and pulling us up and out. And so as we begin to think about that, like the dynamics of it, we were like, wow, this dude is huge. So the Christian community would look at you and say, this man is a way maker. You went before so many people, and you planned it out. You trotted out the territory. You came in and you looked like spy. And you showed us what was good. So going back to your conversation where you said freedom. What's freedom to you? Because in the Black community, our brothers are looking for freedom. What does freedom mean to you?
It's a great question. So freedom to me is, it's the ability for me to make decisions that align with what I want to do at that time, and to not have to ask for like permission from somebody else. You know, like I said, a career like never appealed to me. I graduated even homeschool because I didn't even like the school system. I was just like, that was freedom to me. I could do my work whenever I wanted to. I was in high school, because I was homeschooled, first job was Chick-fil-A, I'd be at work in the mornings while everyone else is in school, and they'd be like, how are you at work? Like, did you drop out of school? I'm like, no, I'm homeschooled. Like, I do my work after I get off, after I get off of work, then I'll do my actual schoolwork. But I've always just wanted to be in the driver's seat of my own life.
Wow.
And I didn't want to have to wait on someone else to see my value or promote me. Like, even like when I go back to my job at Chick-fil-A and think about, like, you know, how much effort I gave to the job, and like, you know, just hoping to be promoted or raised, and like, you know, like, and you might think you're deserving of a raise or a higher position, and other people are being promoted above you.
Yes.
And you start to feel like, dang, like, you know, like you're being overlooked. But some things, a lot of things happen for a reason. It's just like, I wasn't promoted because I was never meant to be there long term. It wasn't for me in the first place. I'm supposed to be doing my own thing. So after Chick-fil-A, I transitioned to my own business, and I haven't really looked back since. For a few years, I had I still would have jobs because that's, entrepreneurial journey, ups and downs. And so to sustain myself, I had jobs up until 21. I haven't had a job since the age of 21. So self-employed, that's freedom to me. It's just like, it's not even like a specific financial number, but it's just freedom is like, if I want to get up and go wherever tomorrow, or if I want to do what I did 4 years ago and hop countries, that's the freedom I want. And I didn't have to ask for anybody's permission. I just did it. I said, hey, talk to myself, Isaiah, you gonna move? And then I told my family, and that was just me telling them, I wasn't asking anyone opinion, or I was just like, I'm doing this.
Did you get any opinions?
No, I mean, honestly, like I said, I think my family, and they know me, and to the sense where they know I'm an independent person, and I'm the way my mind works, that I'm gonna, wherever I do, I'm gonna make it work. So no one was worried about me. They're just like, okay, go for it.
They trusted you.
Yeah. Because my mom was like, don't move so far. Just being a mother. But my dad was like, hey, go for it. And so I can say they've been supportive, and they've enjoyed seeing the content. They're big supporters of the channel as well. So watching the content and getting to see what life like is abroad. But yeah, that's freedom for me. It's just being in the driver's seat. I want to be in control, because I feel like whatever my life is when I'm in the driver's seat, it's easier to pinpoint what needs to be fixed or changed if I'm in the driver's seat. Now, if I'm not in control, now I gotta, point fingers, whatever. I only want to look at myself, and if there's problems in my life, I want to be able to fix it on my own. I want to look around and say, okay, if I'm not making enough money, can I have a raise? See value in me. If I'm not happy with what I'm earning, I go out, I put my work in, and it'll do better. If I'm not as healthy as I want to be, I gotta fix that. I just want to be in the driver's seat of every category. So that's freedom for me, is just being able to control that.
Just make your own choices and just be. Yeah,
exactly.
I like that. I think I was watching the movie Lucy, and it said, Americans in the world, humanity, we got so caught up in trying and doing this instead of just existing. Just be.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's one of the things that I love most about being here in Thailand, is you could just be. Nobody's gonna mess with you if you don't mess with them.
Right.
You're gonna have a good time. Oh, wow. So if you had to say to someone because you were talking about their niche, and even me, we all have little issues with trying to find our niche. What extra advice you can give to us about our niche and hanging in there and sticking in there, because you said you didn't even think that was your niche.
Yeah, so there's a few perspectives on that. One, especially in the beginning, unless you have a very clear vision, and that's the difference. I didn't have a clear vision when I started this channel, so it eventually molded into itself. I was just putting out different forms of content, right? So whether I'm doing contours or whether I'm just doing a vlog showing my life. And if your goal is to grow as a content creator, then as you're putting out videos, and then you have certain videos that take off, pay attention to those. And also don't be hard-headed on if a video is working, and if it's not maybe it's not the video you want it to necessarily work, but if it is working and that's what people are hungry for, then growth is as simple as duplicating what's already working. So once I realized that people enjoyed the contours, they enjoyed my added element of the depth of the interview and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I love interviewing. The contours are fun because I love just seeing, the different amenities and what's offered out here. So I was like, all right, combining those, and then once I had success with some of those videos, I was like, okay, it was clear that people wanted more of that. And it was great because it allowed my channel to not just be dependent on myself. And I love that I was able to be able to share my platform with other people. And it gave a lot of people reassurance with making this move. So I was like, all right, that's how I fell into my content, my niche. But I would say if you're just starting off, it does help if out the gate you could have some clarity in your niche. And that could be around anything you're passionate about or something that you want to become passionate about is another key. You don't have to be an expert or whatever on what you're doing, even if you're just starting off, you're learning something new, that could be your niche, and you could be vulnerable with people and say, hey, like, I'm just starting off. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out. But then, like, once, like I said, as you're putting out content, just making sure that you're doing it the best you know possible. Give yourself a chance to even take off. It's like the biggest things with YouTube is, like, you know, is making sure, one, is the niche itself something interesting? Is there any demand for that certain niche? And that's pretty easy to research, because you can go on YouTube and see, one, okay, is there anybody else in the space that's made this work? But don't let that deter you, because you might be the first, which, you know, and it could be a little bit, I don't want to say scary, but like uncertain when you're the first to do something, right? If something's already working, like even take my niche, for example. I was like, I'm not gonna say I'm the very first person to do this niche, but after me, a lot more people have come to the space because they've seen that it worked, right? So for me, I was sort of just like guessing an experiment. Everyone else after already had the evidence that it worked, so it's easier. So yeah, with the niche, it's just whatever you're passionate about, whatever idea you have, it can work. You have to just figure it out what style resonates with people. And then, like, YouTube basics is like making sure you optimize your thumbnails and titles. That I look at it as like a book. Traditional media before YouTube, you know, we have newspapers and books and stuff like that. And if you remember going to the bookstore, you pick up a book, and people always like to say, don't judge a book by its cover, but that's the whole point of a cover, right? Is to judge the book. So YouTube is no different than a physical book, to where you're scrolling, you're browsing through a bookstore, something catches your eye, what? Like the title, the colors, you pull it out, and if the cover is interesting, you'll what? You open the book, you read more. YouTube is no different. So think of your title, your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is your book cover, your title is the equivalent of a book. And if that is interesting enough, it'll get people to click. And if the book is actually good, people will read it through. So on YouTube, people will watch it through. So if all those things align, then you know you have a winning video. Wow. So that's pretty much like YouTube is not really any more complicated than that. It's just, you know, put out media that people want to see.
Yeah, and it's something, because I never thought about that, but you're right. Give the people what they want. If they're hungry for this, give them that. And if you're not feeding them this, then maybe you should. Whatever. Yeah. So 2 more points, and we're gonna round this up. One, because you just was talking about how you were sharing your platform pretty much. Because see, that for me, it's emotional, because as I was saying before, you're helping everybody else. You were the first one to hit my feed. And I'm gonna tell you, I went back into the YouTube studio and I said, let me go back and retrack this. And February 19th, I subscribed to your channel, and I was like, wow. And that was the same day that I bought my ticket, and I'm like, wow. And then so from February to April, that's all the planning I did. Wow. And I'm here. But not only did you provide that information and everything that I needed to assist me along the way, but now that I'm here and wanting another stream of income, you're also assisting with that. And for me, that is huge, because for one, being a Black woman in the United States, or, you know, we've had to deal with a lot of oppression. And that's just all of us, where people would try to, instead of helping you up, they'd rather put their foot on your neck and try to hold you down. But it's something about you, that mindset, because you didn't hesitate. As soon as you got in town, you made contact. And I'm not even going to tell you, but somebody called me last night and said, Ashley called me. I said, Ashley. And then we're talking to each other like, oh, I said, yeah, I know. I got my appointment today. And she's like, what? Why didn't you tell me? Because we're looking at you like you were a superstar. In our eyes, you are a superstar. Wow, because you are basically pulled us up and out of something. Whatever we were going through, you pulled us up and out. And you like not charging us. You didn't even, you asking for water. Like, that's the bare minimum I can give you for coming all this way. And so I just wanted to commend you on that, because as I say, that's being a way maker. And as you were saying before, it just has a ripple effect. It just keeps affecting, and it keeps affecting. And we're going to have more viewers that is going to keep affecting.
Literally.
And just knowing that you were willing to do this collaboration, but not only that, but it's like you didn't have that mentality as a gatekeeper. Yeah, you didn't gatekeep. You don't gatekeep. You're just open.
I don't even have like the ability to like, it's just not even in me to like gatekeep. I'm like, freely I received it, freely I give it back. It's just.
Exactly. So for me, that is the secret. And I think a lot of humanity, a lot of people don't know is, as far as I'm giving, it's going to keep coming back. It's just being recycled. And so what you give, you get right back. And so, we'll end on this note. Is there anything else you want to say? And please give them your page again.
No, I mean like the kind of the foundation of my story is just doing it, and taking a leap and not overthinking. I didn't overthink this move. I just did it, and I don't know. Like, a lot of people are scared of the unknown, but the unknown kind of excites me because I'm just like, all right, what's next?
Exactly.
Thailand was the unknown. I mean, looking back, when I think about it, it's like, I'm trying to get myself back in the headspace. I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, to just, because people do it now. It's so common now to like people to do what I did, but back when I did it, it wasn't as common. And there wasn't nearly as many Thailand content creators, especially people who were like living here, and then especially like African American, that you can just go look at. There's a couple I can think of, but it wasn't many at all. And yeah, Thailand was such an unknown. I mean, like, I moved, like, this is a long flight too. It's a long flight to get here. I didn't know what to expect. And so sometimes, like, your best life is waiting in the unexpected. So you have to take that leap and not overthink it. So I'm glad I came here, because like my life has been completely changed, and like I love Thailand, and there's really nowhere else I want to live. So I'm like, I love it here. So like, just take the chance, take the risk. Yeah.
So, wow. Yeah. So, again, this is an amazing interview. So, at the end of the day, my channel is about recreating your life, or recreating your life to have the life that you so desire. Do you think you've done that for yourself?
I think so. Yeah. This is, I'm very happy with my life. And as we were talking about with your interview with me, the same thing of like coming to Thailand shifted my whole perspective on what I thought I wanted.
Yeah, wow.
Money matters, but it only matters to a certain point. Mm-hmm. Like once you have what you like, the happiness factor, right? So people, say the cliche things like money can't buy happiness, which is true, but money does matter to a point to where like you want to be able to afford the lifestyle you want. But my American mindset, I was very like, go. I want to like, keep attaining more and more and more. So like, I had a certain goal for like, okay, I want to get to this apartment. I want to buy this car. And now you ask me, I don't care about a car. Ask me my dream car. I tell you, I don't dream about cars. I don't dream about, there's nothing physical I dream about. Like everything I have is already in my grasp. I already have everything that fulfills me already. So like, there's nothing physical. I don't care about a Rolex. Everything I do well for myself now, but everything I wear is from Shein. I don't wear anything expensive. Like money, I like. So when we talk about freedom, like I like that I have the money to live the life I want, but I'm not. There's nothing crazy I desire. Like this is the freedom I like. I still live in a $500 a month apartment out here. It's just like, and I'm like everything works. I just like to eat good food, do what I want to do, make content, and I'm satisfied.
And that's bliss, isn't it? It is. It's nirvana. That's the highest state. It's your best feeling in the world. Hey, you get anything better than that. Wow. So again, we thank you, Isaiah. It's a pleasure. I love this. And thank you all. Tune in to Isaiah Ashley daily.